Hey guys, Marsengan here, bringing another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we're going to be looking at the TEQ Trunks with the TAPION'S sword with his EZA that has just come out today on Global, and we're going to be talking about him a little bit, and then obviously we'll showcase him off in an event. He has got to be one of the weirdest designed units that I can remember seeing for a while, because I think the main problem is he suffers from this issue that we see with Dokkan units from time to time, where a character will come out based on a specific situation, like a specific movie or from a specific episode, and so then the Dokkan card will be given a bunch of abilities that make sense when you think about like the setting, right, like the flavor, the lore of the card, but don't really make a huge amount of sense when it comes to practical gameplay application. And I'll explain what I mean as we go here. So we've got him full level 10 links. I haven't given him any skill orbs because I don't know if I'll use him much after this showcase. We'll probably try him out when we get the new movie bosses red zone stuff, because he does get buffs against movie bosses without needing a Tapion. But yeah, he infinitely stacks attack. He raises defense for one turn and does supreme damage to the enemy. So additionals will be good for him for the stacking and obviously getting extra defense if he does get another super. He gets attack and defense 120, additional attack and defense 100% when performing a super, medium chance to crit, so he has 30% crit chance built in already. He gets an additional attack and defense 15% per movie hero's ally on the team, so obviously on a full movie hero team he's going to get the maximum possible buff. He gives the attacked enemy 30% attack minus for 2 turns, so where that is applicable, that can be pretty good. He gives 2 ki and all allies 40% defense when there is a Tapion on the team. So it just has to be on the team, doesn't have to be on the rotation. 2 ki and all allies 40% defense, or when there is a movie bosses category enemy. Then attacked enemies defense minus 30% for 2 turns, additional 2 ki and all allies attack 40% when there's an ally whose name includes Tapion in the same turn, or a movie boss's enemy. So if there's a movie boss's enemy, 4 ki, 30%, 40% attack and defense, and defense and attack minusing, which you can't do in a lot of events anyway. When there's a movie boss enemy, you get all of that. If you've got a Tapion on the team, you get 2 ki and the 40% defense and the attack lowering, and then if Tapion's on the rotation, you get the attack buff, the defense lowering, and 2 extra ki as well. Now, the problem with this, right, like if you're going into a movie bosses event, then that's fine, right? When it comes to this Trunks, his 200% leaders currently available on Global are physical Beast Gohan, well, Beast Gohan, Least Gohan, right? Physical LR Ultimate Gohan, Path to Power Kid Goku, and Majin Vegeta. And that's it, right? So notice how none of those characters are movie heroes for a start. And none of those characters have leader skills where you can run Tapion. So, yeah, so you can see what I mean about the confusing design, right? It's like, here's Kid Trunks with Tapion's sword, so let's make the unit entirely revolved around being run with Tapion, but then we won't put him on a bunch of teams with Tapion, right? So both of these guys, we're running them on the Super Saiyan 3 Goku Movie Heroes team, which means they both are only getting a 170% leader skill. And then of course the thing that makes it even more interesting is, I mean, we got no links with our boy Gamma 1 over here. I'm going to float off Tapion because I do want to see the difference between the turn, right, where we're not getting Tapion on rotation, because Tapion on rotation is what gives us the all allies attack support, which does obviously apply to Trunks as well, so his attack stat will be a lot higher on the turn that Tapion is on. But the other thing that's so great is it's like, right, so you got to run Trunks and Tapion together if you want to get all of those buffs. So surely these guys are super good when you run them together, right? Because, you know, this guy's been designed to be run with a Tapion. Well, spoilers, obviously I did a video talking about these EZAs before they actually came out on Global, where we went over this very issue. But no, he shares one link with Tapion, which is solid support. So, yeah, this is what I mean when it comes to, but just, I say confusing, but it's just bad character design. So you've made a Kid Trunks that needs to be run with Tapion. They share one link. Like, is there a world tournament at the beginning of Wrath of the Dragon? Is it like ending to like set up the start of the movie or something? I don't think so, right? So why has this Trunks got world tournament champion and money, money, money? Like, I know they're relevant links to a Kid Trunks because of the stuff that's happened in the other parts of the series and all that kind of stuff. But like, I guess Brainiacs isn't really important, but give him courage, right? You can't give him revival. Give him courage. I mean, maybe because he is kind of the main character of Wrath of the Dragon outside of like the story revolves around him and Tapion. Maybe give him hero, even though no other Trunkses have it. That's a 25% defense link that he could share with Tapion. But no, he just has solid support, which is 15% attack. So you can see at the start of turn, we have 141k defense. Now, we will get a buff from that when we pick up the orbs for Tapion as well to get his movie hero support. And he does get 100% on super. So on super attack, he's going up to around 300k, and his super attack effect does raise defense by 30%. So he's getting anywhere between 350 and 400k defense post super, but then that's it, right? He doesn't have any other defensive tech, unlike Tapion, who's picking up a bunch of dodge chance. Trunks doesn't have any sort of extra ability like that to help him out here. So if we grab this, can we get... Yeah, we can get 3 rainbow orbs here for Tapion, so that'll push the numbers here up a little bit, and let's see how well we get on. Obviously, we're not doing a particularly difficult event. We're not doing a movie boss event, so I do want to see, like I say, the reason I'm floating off Tapion here is so we can see what Trunks does on a turn without Tapion on the rotation. Where, I mean, realistically, depending on how you built the team, you're potentially going to have more links active. Not that this Trunks has a particularly good set of link partners anyway. But, of course, he does have a unit super with Tapion, which is cool. I mean, the super attack animation is kind of cool. And then if you do get an additional, there's the normal super attack. Now, because he's infinitely stacking attack, then it means we are getting the build-up with each one of those supers. So getting an additional is definitely good. To be fair, him getting the additional just from the hidden potential there on the first turn is very nice. And then Tapion wanting to follow suit and get the additional as well. So decent turn from the two of them together there, but obviously not anything insane. I guess it doesn't really matter about the 6 orbs here particularly, does it? So we'll do this. We're definitely killing him this turn, so I don't need to worry about saving rainbow orbs or anything. So... Of course, we get hit immediately. It's like, don't worry about the guard. I mean, we're in the first turn of this event, so it's not like Cell's going to do a lot of damage. The thing that when it comes to this Trunks, like, the new Movie Bosses Red Zone state that's going to come out, right? Movie Bosses Red Zone 2 is... I'm trying to think any of the big events that actually end with, like, an AGL boss. The Golden Freezer one does, which is one of the harder ones. It's like the final stage. And the phase before it is Int. So I'm not sure, like, this guy... As a free-to-play support unit... Wow, really? Okay. As a free-to-play support unit, like, he seems like he could be okay. But really it's going to be only against movie bosses, because I suppose you could run this very specific build. Like, you could change a couple of the other units, but Super Saiyan 3 Goku's team for a Movie Heroes team is one of the only places, really, where you're going to be running, like, Tapion and this Trunks at the same time. I mean, and look at that, how he fits in with the rest of the team. Like... He's got no other links active here. At least we can get a super. Although I suppose I probably should have done this just to see where the super is for this turn. It's going to be in slot 1, isn't it? Yep. Well, we're about to see Trunks get annihilated by this super attack. Well, I guess we'll see how much damage he actually does and then jump back in. Kind of disappointing considering... I suppose I could have just popped an item here, but... 3.3 is his attack without the Tapion. And then we do get the crit. He has that 30% crit chance as part of his passive. And then, yeah, he's taking 612k from the type disadvantage super. Now, bear in mind, of course, you know, shout out as always to the global exclusive Limit Breaker second form cell. It is a type disadvantage super, so we wouldn't really be expecting a free-to-play unit to tank that attack particularly well. But this is where the point that I was making earlier really comes into fruition with the whole, you know, he doesn't have any other defensive tech, is that that's basically it. Like, even against a tougher boss, but who's even, like, type neutral, then obviously he's just going to be getting one-shot by these super attacks. So we can go ahead and do this. We get to see our no Tapion attack here. And then, yeah, I guess we'll just grab these for you. You're not even getting attacked, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, all 3 units on the rotation with no links active. Because if you're fighting a movie boss and you're running this Trunks on the team to use as a third slot floating support unit, it doesn't really matter as much that he's not going to link with some of the other units, because ideally you've built your team so that your slot 1 and 2 units link together very well on both rotations, and then Trunks is just floating in slot 3 to give 40% attack and defense, which is good. Like, it helps out everybody else on the team, makes them hit slightly higher numbers, but Trunks himself certainly seems like a liability. And of course, if you're not fighting a movie boss's enemy, there's almost no point to run this guy, right? Because even if you are trying to squeeze Tapion on the team, which, I mean, like I say, we've done a couple of different videos so far. I'm not sure the order they'll go up today. It'll probably be after this one. I have taken Tapion into the Fusion Zamasu event. And I do think Tapion is a legitimate option for Goku's Movie Heroes team. But as we've already seen, right, with the fact that they barely share any links or anything like that, I don't know if you would really be trying to fit this Trunks onto the team unless you really had no other options, right? Like, it's nice to have free-to-play options for teams, but I think this Trunks, they kind of fulfilled a little bit. Like, when it comes to free-to-play units, I think one of the best things they can do is just make them support units and then just load them up with, like, dodge or something, right? So that they're providing support to your team as a free option. Most of their defense is relying on dodge, because they're not going to be, I mean, there's been the odd occasion, right, with some of the really good super strikes like Jackie Chan. They're not going to be dropping these, like, free-to-play farmable units that have, like, a ton of damage reduction and stuff like that. Or at least they seem to not do stuff like that anymore. I mean, imagine this guy, make it worth our while, right, to run them together with the Tapion and this Trunks, right, even though they don't share a lot of links. Like, he should have damage reduction if he's on rotation with a Tapion or something like that, right, to give him a little bit of extra survivability, and of course just a reason for you to run him with Tapion, because again, this rotation means we now have Gamma 1 who has no links active. If we'd switched the rotations the other way around, like if we were just using Trunks as a floating support, I think Gamma 1 only shares Fierce Battle with Tapion anyway, so it's not like it's a crazy rotation in the first place. But yeah, it's if you're going to be bringing supports who don't link super well with other units on the team, it's not always the end of the world if the support they're providing is worth it, but then also they kind of need to have their own standalone survivability, which this Trunks is kind of lacking right now. This cell's already supered, so it'll be interesting to see how well we're actually able to tank a hit here. So we get the unit super, we do not get an additional. I mean, he tanks that for double digits. Now, to be fair, we've got the defensive support from Gamma 1 and obviously the Movie Heroes support from Tapion. So he's got a lot of support on this rotation, but only one link active. And then he tanks that hit for double digits, which is actually pretty decent. Right, you don't need the type advantage. Don't need the 6 orbs because you've got type advantage naturally anyway. I think we kill him. Yeah, we'll kill him this turn. I don't need to ever underestimate whether we kill on this specific turn thanks to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, right? Well, I say that, but of course, no 6 orbs for God Goku means no guaranteed additional super. But between Super Saiyan 3 Goku and God Goku, we'll do a pretty solid amount of damage on this turn. Ideally, Super Saiyan 3 Goku just gets an additional. God Goku gets an additional anyway, 8.2. So yeah, Super Saiyan 3 Goku should finish him off, especially if he gets the crit. Okay, yeah, it's going to be GG for him. Good old Limit Breaker second form cell. I feel like I mention it in like every single run we do on this stage, which I do use this stage to showcase units fairly regularly, so it's quite a lot, but still no idea why that's still in the game or how it came about in the first place, but it's always funny to see. So. But now we go into the AGL phase, and this is where, when you're doing this event, you know, whilst this isn't the toughest event anymore, this is where you really can start to take some damage. In fact, let's do this and see where the super is. Well, there's potentially multiple supers, right? So, oh, it's the first attack of the turn. All right, let's do that. So we get the guaranteed dodge for the rest of the turn. So we'll do this. Our start of turn defense on this turn's 150k, basically. So 300, around 350, like post-super, thanks to the super attack effect. So not terrible in terms of raw defense for, like, type advantage in these easier events. But remember, 350k defense, we're starting to get bosses now that are easily hitting 500k plus normals, which means type neutral, this Trunks is still going to be taking, like, especially if it's an extreme enemy, 150k plus from normal attacks if he only gets off one super. So, I don't know. When it comes to a free-to-play option, he's not the worst free-to-play unit we've ever seen, but I mean, again, without Tapion, without having a movie boss, he's not getting that attack support part of his passive. So 3.5 million attack stat. And for this rotation, because there's no Tapion, he is providing everyone else on the team an extra 40% defense, which is nice, but yeah, it's definitely not the craziest thing in the world. So I don't know. You guys let me know what you think of this TEQ Trunks. I think it's cool that we have him in the game. I just think it's very weird, as we sort of talked about, you know, at the beginning. I think it's very odd for them to design these units the way they do, for the reasons that they do, right? Like, it's, you know, you can tell that it's been done for, like, the lore purposes, right? It's like, well, he's the Trunks from the movie, so you got to run him with a Tapion if you want to get all of his buffs, or, you know, they fight against a Rudigan, so you got to fight a movie boss. But then, not only do they not share any 200% teams, but they share one link. Like, I don't, you know, it'd be cool in the future maybe to get like a what if Trunks and Tapion card, but like, what links would they give them? It'd have to be some combination of the two, but I still think that would be a very, be a cool idea, but would be a very weird card situation for like links and stuff. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. I mean, Trunks, certainly not the worst free-to-play card that we've ever seen, but definitely not the best either. So we'll get one more turn of attacks out of him here. I mean, he is infinitely stacking attack, but he doesn't exactly start with crazy high stats. So without the Tapion on the rotation to get the attack buff, it's not like we've seen him drop, you know, big numbers. Wasn't the highest was like 4.5 or something like that. And now after a couple of turns of stacking, we'll see what his final super attack here is. I'm not expecting, is it going to be much over 4 mil? 4.4. I mean, he'll get there eventually. Like, if you build him with additional, you could potentially get more supers to get more stacks. But with the lack of defensive tech, if you are going to use him, you probably just want to build him full dodge. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think of Trunks down below in the comment section. In fact, one of the things that we didn't do, which I do like to try and get in the EZA videos, is to put a sticker effect on him, which will be interesting considering his card art with like Tapion in the background. I can't imagine he's going to have a crazy sticker effect, but let's go ahead and throw that on him here. So there's his card art with the Tapion in the background. It's pretty cool, but throw a sticker on here. It's going to be just those like outer blue like lightningy bits, isn't it? Yeah, basically. So kind of pointless. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.